My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how I ended up marrying the very first man I ever went on a date with. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone, and dating wasn't really something girls like me did. My parents were strict, church every Sunday, curfew at 9 even in high school, and boys were considered a dangerous distraction. I wasn't rebellious, I just accepted the rules. I focused on books, piano lessons, and helping my mom in the kitchen. By the time I graduated high school, I had never held a boy's hand, never been kissed, never even been alone with one. College was supposed to change everything. My parents finally agreed to let me go to a state university 2 hours away, but only because I promised to live in an all-girls dorm and call home every night. I was 20 years old, excited and terrified in equal measure. The first week of classes, I felt invisible. Everyone seemed to already have friends, stories, boyfriends. I sat alone in the cafeteria, eating my sandwich and reading a novel, trying not to look lonely. That's when he appeared. Mind if I sit here? All the other tables are full. I looked up and saw a tall guy with kind brown eyes and a slightly crooked smile. He was holding a tray with a burger and fries. I glanced around, the cafeteria wasn't even half full, but I nodded anyway. Sure. He sat down across from me. I'm Ethan. First year? Sarah, I said quietly. Yes, first year. We talked. Or rather, he talked, and I listened, answering in short sentences. He was studying engineering, loved hiking, played guitar in a campus band that wasn't very good yet. He asked about my major, English literature, my hometown, my favorite book. I don't know why, but I felt safe with him. He didn't tease me for being quiet. He just kept the conversation going, gentle and steady. When we finished eating, he asked for my number. My heart raced. I had never given my number to a boy before. But I did it. He texted me that same evening, had a great time talking today. Want to get coffee tomorrow? I stared at the message for 20 minutes before typing back, yes. That coffee turned into daily walks across campus. Then dinners. Then movie nights in the common room of my dorm. Ethan never pushed me. When he first held my hand, he asked if it was okay. When he first kissed me, soft, careful, on a bench under autumn leaves, he pulled back and searched my face to make sure I wanted it too. I fell in love quickly and completely. He was the first person who ever truly saw me. 3 months in, he said, I love you, Sarah. I whispered it back, tears in my eyes. My parents were not happy when I brought him home for Thanksgiving. They thought we were too young, moving too fast. My mother pulled me aside and said, you haven't even dated anyone else. How do you know he's the right one if he's the only one? I didn't have an answer. I just knew that when I was with Ethan, the world felt wider, brighter, possible. We graduated. He got a job in the city. I started teaching English at a middle school. We moved into a tiny apartment with creaky floors and one window that stuck. Life was simple and sweet. Then came the doubts. They started small. A coworker at school, Lisa, was funny and confident and had dated half the staff. She told stories about her exes, travels, heartbreaks, adventures. One day she said, laughing, I can't imagine marrying the first guy I ever kissed. I'd always wonder what I missed. I laughed along, but the words stayed with me. At night, lying next to Ethan while he slept, I began to wonder too. What if there was someone else out there who understood me better? Someone who shared my love of poetry more deeply? Someone who wanted to travel the world instead of saving for a house? I started imagining other lives. Other men. Other versions of me, braver, freer, more experienced. The wondering grew into distance. I became quieter. Ethan noticed. One evening, he came home from work and found me sitting on the couch, staring at nothing. "Sarah," he said softly, "talk to me." I burst into tears. Everything spilled out, the fear that I had missed something important, the worry that I had settled too soon, the guilt for even thinking it when he was so good to me. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he took my hands. "I'm scared too," he said. "Not that you'll leave, but that you'll stay and always wonder. I don't want to be the safe choice you settled for. I want to be the one you choose every day, even if you know there are other paths." He paused, then added, "If you need to explore, to date other people, to find out for sure, I'll let you go. It would break my heart, but I love you enough to want you to be certain." I cried harder. Because in that moment, I realized something. No other man would ever offer me that kind of love, the kind that sets you free even when it hurts. I didn't want to date anyone else. I didn't want other paths. I wanted the life we were building, creaky floors and all. We got married the following spring, in the small church I grew up in. My mother cried during the vows. My father shook Ethan's hand longer than usual. 10 years later, we have 2 children, a boy with Ethan's crooked smile and a girl who loves books as much as I do. We still live in the same city. We still take walks. He still asks if it's okay before he kisses me sometimes, just to make me laugh. People sometimes ask if I regret marrying the first guy I ever dated. I tell them the truth, I didn't miss anything. Because love isn't about collecting experiences, it's about choosing one person, again and again, even when the wondering comes. And every single day, I choose Ethan. The first guy I met. The only one I ever needed.